Hi guys. And of course, right when we actually have time to do it, Bethany goes to the beach and gets burnt to a crisp and now looks like a crocodile skin.
Sorry.
So I'm gonna be showing you guys what I do. Anyways, I'm gonna put this thing on my head because because I can, and why not? So yeah. Oh, Bethany's just gonna sit here and kind of talk you guys through what she does differently than what I do, since she can't put on any makeup. So, I also have all my makeup in this like really unorganized bag. So first thing that I do is
so chaotic.
First thing that I do is start with skincare. If you have a good base like on your skin before you put actual makeup on, then it makes it stay better, makes it look nicer, and I don't know, it helps. Keeping your face really moisturized will make your makeup not look super dry. If you're super oily, then you might find a different type of skin prep, you know, it just depends. This is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I'm gonna use some of this now. And I use, I don't know, like 2 squirts, like that much. And I kind of just dot this all over my face and then rub it in. This primer, it gets like, it's like still kind of like a watery base, I guess, but it gets really tacky, and for me it just helps to like fill in all my pores. I have really big pores on my nose especially, and this helps to just kind of like fill the pores with stuff that's healthy for your skin so that your makeup just sits on top of your skin, and it sits on top of your skin a lot nicer, and it doesn't fill up your pores with nasty makeup and make you break out so bad, which all broke out right now. We're not going to talk about her. We're just going to move on. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. For reference, this is literally the lightest shade because I think I'm the palest person on the planet. Yeah, so this is a stick. I don't use a lot of this. Like, you do not need your face to be like completely coated, I don't think, because a lot of makeup is so buildable, and so literally like that's all I put on my face. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need a lot. What I like to do, I have this brush. It's just like a angled foundation brush. It's by e.l.f. also, Airbrush Blender. I use this to blend first because thanks, Bethany. I use this to blend first because I like the way that it blots it into my skin. Like, it just is, and I don't like rub either. I tap because then you have brush streaks and it doesn't distribute evenly. But I tap with the brush first because I feel like it just goes into my skin a lot better. Do you have any elaborations, Bethany?
About what?
Do you start with a brush or
yeah, I do a brush and then I blend it in.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Most everything I do, Bethany does the same. She does a few things differently, which is completely normal and completely okay as well. So once I kind of have that evenly distributed, and also don't forget to like bring this down into your neck too. Doesn't have to go really far down, but just enough that you don't have a sharp line on your jawline. Which I don't really have a jawline, but that's fine. Then I have a beauty blender. I dampen my beauty blender. I run it under the water. It's literally a sponge, so run it under the water, squeeze all the water out. And it blends so nicely, and it picks up any excess product that's left on the skin that isn't needed. And so I just go in with the flat one and just blend it all out completely. That way, if there's any brush streaks or anything like that, then you don't have that anymore. Yeah. So After foundation, I do concealer, and this is also an e.l.f. concealer, hydrating camo concealer, in the shade Light Ivory, again, because I'm really pale. All of these products should be on that list that I made, if you want to find them. Most of them came from Walmart. So this is my, like, war paint, I guess. Sure. And then anywhere you have little blemishes and stuff, I usually put like a tiny little dot, just cause, sorry, I can't see. So yeah, that's what we look like now. I usually start from the bottom of my face, work my way up, and then do my eyes last, so that it has a second to sit. If it has just a second to sit, then it'll be a little bit more full coverage because it'll be kind of dried. Some people like to let your whole, like, the whole concealer sit for a few minutes, but I usually just start with the lower part of my face and work my way straight up my face and then go back to the eyes last. So chin, nose, I kind of pinch the Beauty Blender just a little bit so that I'm focusing on the bridge of my nose. The bridge is just like that part of your nose, which I'm sure most of you know that. But forehead, some of this, like, you want to blend it like into where you put it, but then fade it out, so like, because you don't want it to be like a very sharp line or anything. So that looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and blend these, and then I come back to my eyes. Now your concealer, it's kind of scary, but you want to get it as close to your eye as possible. So, and I blend it kind of around my eye and upwards towards my temple. And then you can blend a little bit down. But you want to kind of focus it under your eye and keep that, like, lifted. You don't want it to be brought down. And then whatever's left on the Beauty Blender, I just press it over my eyelid just to use as a base for my eyeshadow. So yeah. I don't know. I didn't know what else to say. Sorry. Okay, I think that's blended out pretty okay. So this is what we look like now. Now I'm going to use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand Contour Stick. This is in the shade Fair Light. So contour, this is liquid contour. I start at the top of my ear here and go downwards towards, I kind of, like, I don't bring it down super far because I blend it downwards more, but, like, you also don't want to blend it downwards because then it's going to sink your face. So, like, you'll kind of see what I mean once I do it. So, I do about to there. And that's almost to, like, the apple, where the apples in my cheek start. That's about as far as I go. I do that on both sides. You can kind of feel it. Like, it takes some practice, but I'm also gonna put some on my forehead because I have a big forehead and it gives the illusion that it is smaller. So,
or at least we think so.
At least I like to say so, because why not? And then my nose, I go on the sides and then I do a little bit like that. So I'm also, again, pinching my Beauty Blender to blend out this on my nose, because you want to kind of focus it where you put it, for your nose especially. And then I do my forehead again with, like, I did my under eyes with my concealer last. I do the same thing with the cheek contour.
You can kind of bring that contour towards the middle of your forehead. Not like middle, but like the center. But it doesn't have to be like, you don't want to kind of focus it, especially like because I have like everything going.
But we're not going to talk about her. We're not going to talk about her.
It's just genetics.
It's just genetics. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. So this, I'm kind of tapping it at an angle upwards like this, not like this or straight into it. I kind of tap it like at an upwards angle so that I'm able to control it. You want it to be kind of lifting your face, not sinking it, because that'll give the illusion that you do have cheekbones, even though we don't. You don't want to bring it down too low either. So if you bring it down too low, it's going to sink your face in.
Also, like, if you're choosing not to use, like, a beauty blender, you can still do this, like, with a brush.
Mm-hmm.
You just use the same kind of
Use the same kind of, like, upward motions. I would, even with the brush, I would suggest the tapping.
Yeah, you tap it. That's what I do.
Okay, this is another e.l.f. product. I really like e.l.f.'s liquid products, if you can't tell. This is the Camo Liquid Blush in Dusty Rose. Mine's really messy. Keeps like seeping out the sides. Let me tell you something. You do not need 18 dots of this on your face. It's very pigmented, and if you put too much on there, you're gonna look sunburned. I have done it before. You're gonna look like Bethany. So I put it on the, like, kind of, this is the apple of your cheek. I kind of bring it up just a little bit right there, if that kind of gives you reference. That's all I put on there. As far as liquid, we're gonna put on more blush later, but as far as liquid, that's all you need, because if you put on too much, you'll see it'll get kind of bright. See, you don't need that much, because it is very pigmented. Well, I had, what was that other one I had? It was Selena Gomez. It was Rare Beauty. I would literally put like a teeny tiny speck on there, and it would just like, wah. So if you happen to be bougie and like the Rare Beauty one, please be careful with it. But that just gives me a little color. If you also cannot tell, I'm not bringing it super into my face either, like into the center. I'm kind of also just bringing it onto the upper apples of my cheek, and I'm actually pulling it into my temples just a little bit. So that's all your liquid products. Good job, we got through the first step. That was epic. Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade 05 Fair. I use this little, it's kind of dirty, don't worry about it, this powder puff, because for some reason it just gives me such a nicer look than doing it with the beauty blender. It just looks so much like, it looks like it's not even skin. So I always set with the loose powder under my eyes, because you pretty much want to do this anywhere that you put concealer. Just to kind of really set it in place. The powder puff for me really just like mashes it into the skin and leaves it where it's not going to go anywhere. But I'm going to do that on both sides. Really just like tap it into your skin. So a lot of people like to bake. I baked for like a long time when I was maybe in high school. And then it started just making my face look super like cakey, yeah. And we don't want it to look super cakey. You want to look very smooth. So I am gonna put just a little bit like over my eyelids too, just to set that in place so that it's not getting creased over from where my eyelids open. And my nose, I set my nose because, like we talked about, I have really horrible pores on my nose. And so that's where I tend to get oily. That's where I tend to, like, have my makeup breaking. So I always, like, really set my nose. And you can literally see the difference from just now. I also set my chin because I touch around my mouth a lot. Food, eating, fixing, like moving my hair out of my face or something, I end up touching the lower part of my face. So my chin especially, I will really set into place. Sometimes I'll take just a little bit on my jawline because I also touch there, like when I'm sitting lazily like I do sometimes.
Yeah, one thing is, like, with the chin, also make sure you get, like, right beside your mouth, because when you smile, it's like smile lines, because I'm like a 70-year-old woman already with wrinkles.
My teeth,
so, like,
I need to whiten my teeth before we go, y'all.
So, like, just make sure you do that too, so that you're not got a bunch of lines on your face.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Because like smiling like that, or if you like raise your eyebrows a lot, you might want to set your forehead some more because you'll get lines there. Yeah. But if you just use the powder and kind of set it, then that helps a lot. I'm gonna get this super fluffy brush. I go over my face just one light time, just in case there's any leftover powder on my face. I don't want it to stay on there and turn cakey. So I just kind of fluff over it really lightly just to make sure there's no leftover product. And then I go in with a bronzer. I don't think I have the one that I don't have the one that I put on the Walmart list anymore. I broke it. Yeah. But I do have this one. This one's a lot more expensive. It's like $30 and it's only this big. But I love this one because it's super buildable and it's great for my skin tone. Doesn't make me look muddy. That's something about bronzer, is if you get something that's way too dark or doesn't match your tones very well, you're going to turn really muddy. And it tends to like, I don't know. It'll make you look sunken instead of like bronzed and nice and bronzed. Okay, as you can see, I've used a lot of this one. This is the Benefit Cosmetics Hoola Light Matte Bronzer. Yes, it doesn't have any shimmer in it, by the way. I don't use any shimmer, no, because it just will make me look super sweaty. So I like really dip into this, like get you some on there, and then we're gonna talk about like starting at the top of your ear again. Don't work it downwards like this. Work it here first, kind of like a feathering. You can see where I'm holding the brush. You don't have to like hold it super close. You can kind of hold it back and it'll let the brush do its thing, you know, because that's what they're here for, to help us out. So I kind of start at the top of my ear, slowly work my way down. Sometimes I need a little bit more. We obviously need a little bit more because we're doing stage makeup. So you're gonna have to be really bronzed. But as you can see already, this one's very buildable.
And don't be like scared, because I've never done this kind of stuff before. And I mean, I'm finally getting the hang of it. So just, you know, practice for the 5 days we have before we go.
Yeah,
I mean,
sorry guys.
You'll have the concerts to
You can also learn. Like do the fish face. We'll kind of guide you if that helps you at all. It doesn't really help me that much, but it helps some people. But yeah, as far as color on your face, don't be afraid of it. Like that's what we need. But like obviously you don't want to look like you have so much color on your face that you look like a clown. Exactly. But like stage makeup, if you want to be seen, you need to have some color on your face. So, and
like one way you could do is like get in a bright light but step away some. Yeah. So you can see, like, if you're sculpted, then you can tell.
I literally have like the light of all the suns on me right now with You can also see like I'm bringing it up into my temple again, which again you don't have to do. I like to bring it up into my temple. It just, for me, like, brings my face more, I don't know, forward, I guess, and lifted. I also do the same thing. And, oh, hey, Poppy. That's Potato. I also do the same thing where I put the liquid contour and put it on my forehead here. Be careful when you're doing this because it's easy to look like you have lines on your face when you don't blend it well on your forehead. Especially if you have a giant forehead like me. Because I've been there, done that with the like really, really dark bronzers on myself, on my pasty white skin.
This is probably, for me, the bronzer is the longest process because it's so buildable, but it takes a few minutes to get it built up. I kind of just, once I get it on there, I just start like, anywhere that needs a little bit, I just mess with my head.
I don't know if you guys, let me, yeah, you can see that a little better. So yeah, now we got a sculpted face, period. Next we're doing blush. This is a Milani blush. This is number 14, Petal Primavera. It's a baked powder blush. I think there's a teeny tiny bit of shimmer in this. Like on a normal basis, this is the one I use on a normal basis. This is what I mean by shimmer. I would not use this because we're trying to do stage makeup, and on stage makeup you don't want to be super shiny. This is a little bit of shimmer's okay. So again, I like literally like no time to waste. So tap in there real good. And I start, I'm trying to like talk into this again. On like the upper apples of my cheeks again, like we talked about with the liquid. So I'm gonna kind of try to smile and not speak so that you guys can see. Like I don't bring it way towards my nose. You want to kind of keep it
up
outwards.
to the temples.
And yeah, I bring it up to my temple, blending it in with that bronzer that I just put on.
I just think that the temple, bringing it up to the temple helps make your face look more lifted instead of...
Pretty much everything that you blend, you want to blend upwards, not downwards. Anything that you blend downwards is going to make your face look sunken and down. Down. And we want to look like... Snatched, yeah. That's the word I've been looking for, is snatched. Thanks, Bethany. I also, well, let me say this first. You need a good bit of blush because blush is very important with stage makeup.
And it disappears a lot too.
Yeah, it also disappears. I love blush. Like, I could keep putting more on than what I have on right now. I love blush. I'm also gonna put a tiny bit on my nose. Not a lot, just a little bit. Because you don't want your nose to look burnt, but just a little bit will like remind everyone that your nose is there. Yeah. And a lot of people like their nose to disappear, but my nose is there. And that's okay. So that's pretty much all of your face things. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is use this Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist by e.l.f. I love this one. I've been using it for a while. I used the Morphe one for a while, and it was okay. But then I discovered that e.l.f. is like thebomb.com.
Yeah.
Sorry guys. I'm a jokester. I'm gonna go ahead and use this. I use a lot. I'm using this one. I think we put, what was it called? Like a coconut or something? Something about a coconut on there. And it's the same brand as this. I just have this one. I liked the colors in the coconut one better. I have this one. And this is ColourPop Nude Mood. ColourPop makes great eyeshadows. So I'm going to go in with this shade, Bare to Wear. I'm going to try to do this in the camera so you guys can see. I'm starting on like the upper portion of my eye. This is kind of what we call a transition shade. It makes everything a lot more blendable once you get it onto your eye. So as far as you want your eyeshadow to go out, that's where you want to bring this one. You don't want to bring anything else farther than this shade. And I mean, as you can see, it's not like super pigmented or anything. So that makes everything look a little bit more like it's supposed to be naturally there. I'm trying so hard to do this in the camera so you guys can see.
But again, she blind, so.
Yeah. I'm usually like this close to a mirror. Like, you can also see on this one, I'm kind of holding my brush like a pencil. You can hold it like this too. I hold my pencils whatever. I hold my pencil like this, like a crazy person, but like imagine you're holding a pencil properly, giving yourself like you have wiggle room, but let the brush again, like let the brush do its thing. You don't need to hold it way close, and like that makes it so difficult if you just kind of let the brush do its thing.
Did you say something about the fluffy brush being like more fluffy for this?
Fluffy brushes, these are mostly what I use for my eyeshadow. I actually love this one a lot. I don't know why I'm using this one. It's fine. But a good fluffy brush will make it look super well blended on your face instead of just like, oh, there's the eyeshadow. So that's what we're working with. That's our like base to our eyeshadow. So then I go in with a little bit darker shade. I'm gonna use this one right here. This is all natural. it's a okay, we're not gonna worry about that. It's this shade right here. It's a little bit darker. And I'm using literally the same brush. You don't have to switch brushes if you don't want to. So this one, I'm trying really hard. Everything's falling. Here. So the outer V, I guess. So like this is your crease. This is your outer V. I kind of take this one in my outer V and the crease because it gives it a little bit of dimension, but I do not bring it up high like I did that neutral shade. I keep it very like in that spot. Like I want it to be just like a definition, kind of like a contour. I mean, like we're contouring our eyes. Bethany's brushing me with the brushes over here. I didn't realize how crazy I looked when I do this. Don't talk about it. So you can also kind of like tap it into place and then blend it out from there, which also is a really good technique.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really focusing this on the crease and the outer V. I also have gigantuous eyelids. If you have like hooded eyes or small eyelids, this is gonna take a little bit more time to try to like focus it. Maybe a smaller brush, but maybe, I don't know, try to keep it a fluffy brush because that'll help you with the blending. But if you do have like smaller eyelids, yeah, like a shorter brush, I guess.
This is a little bit shorter of one.
Yeah, you can kind of see the difference between these.
No, you
Oh,
can't.
sorry. The difference between those.
That would probably help.
Something like this would be a little bit better for somebody with like hooded eyes or smaller eyelids, which is completely okay.
We all different.
We all different. I have gigantuous eyelids. Why? I don't know. Why not? Last but not least, we're gonna go in with the darkest brown shade.
Oh,
I can't tell if I'm pointing at it. This one. It's called Moody. Moody. That is my mother's maiden name. Moving on. Okay, this I literally like tap it straight into my outer V like this. I know it's a little scary, but it's okay, I promise. Like that. And then you can soften out the edges of it. Just bring it around until it's blended. I need to look in the mirror for just a second because I can't see. Okay, yeah, that's fine. And it's okay to kind of softly touch like those edges to blend it out a little bit. But about like that is good. Yeah. That looks pretty good. We're gonna do that to the other side. Next, this is my favorite part because I get to use my finger instead of a brush. So I'm gonna go in with this light, almost white shade called Bluffin'. And I literally...
She can't see again.
I can't see.
Okay.
But that's okay. Oh, that was good. I literally take it over my eyelid to lighten my eyelids up so that my eyes look brighter. But I do that, like when I do my normal makeup, I would use shimmer right there, like a pretty gold or something. But I'm using the light because we need that matte look, from what I understand from Dr. Hansen. And I could definitely be wrong, but this is what we're going with. Also, remember, this is just like a guidance, so, and recommendations. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just trying to help out some people that need some assistance. Because I understand what it's like to not do makeup, because it's taken me a long time to learn how to do even this, and I know that I'm still not the best at it. So that's kind of what we're working with. I always go back in with the brush that doesn't really have anything on it and just kind of feather some of that color into that light shade again, just so that it looks well blended. Which, I mean, again, you don't have to do, just a little touch up kind of thing. Yes, I know. Thank you, Bethany. I also, last thing with eyeshadow, take that medium shade that we did, the second shade, and I get just a little bit of it to put under my eye. Try to get it as close to your eye as possible without actually getting it in your eye. I only bring it about halfway, and then I kind of just feather it, and that kind of just like rounds out your eyeshadow, I guess. Also, like with certain things, tapping off your brush so you don't have fallout and stuff, like after you've done all your eyeshadow and it ends up down here on your face.
To me, putting it under just looks more naturally, like natural.
Yeah.
Naturally
Naturally.
It just looks better blended. Guess they're watching Star Wars.
Epic! This is the hardest part.
Yeah, it is.
Where's that little... This'll do. I have this little teeny tiny brush right here, and it's super helpful with this step. And I'm about to get up close and personal with you guys, so don't look at my pores. This is liquid eyeliner. It's very scary, and I've ruined my makeup with it before. This is the NYX Epic Ink Liner Professional Makeup, whatever, blah, 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 in black. You can use brown if you absolutely desire to use brown.
I use black. Because I do. I genuinely don't know if I can do this. Okay, let me find. I don't have the steadiest of hands. Let me find somewhere to
I hope you guys can see this. I think you can. So, I cannot talk when I'm doing this, by the way. Little lines at a time.
You just want like a thin line of black
This is really
on
thin.
the top of your eyes.
I'm having a hard time making it super thin. Usually mine's even thinner than this.
Yeah.
But it's just not going very well today because I'm trying to do it in there. Where'd that brush go? While it's still wet, hopefully it's fine, I blend it outwards like that. It's almost like a wing.
But not a wing.
But not a wing, because we don't need wings. This is just eyeliner that's kind of blended out. It'll kind of lengthen your eyes just a little bit without having to add a wing. But I'm just gonna do it real quick.
Just get it on there. Like, mine still doesn't even look that great. It you know, from afar, it's fine.
But if you, like, this is one of those steps, like, if you mess it up and you get it all over your eye, then you're going to have to pretty much start over your eyeshadow.
So just be
because it's, like, impossible. Yes.
Very careful while you're
to
doing it.
close the lid.
And like I said, hold your breath, because that's about the only way that I can do it.
So this is what we have. Doesn't look bad by any means. It looks a little uneven, but
Oh,
it's fine.
hello, man.
That's okay. Mia! Kitties! The next thing I use, this is a Dat Gel eyeliner, though. By Pinky Bee Beauty. Bethany got this in an Ipsy bag and I stole it.
Yeah. You know, I have a bad one.
This is another kind of eyeliner that I put in my waterline. This is not something you have to do, especially if you have allergies to makeup or sensitive eyes, or you're scared.
It's all good.
You don't have to do this. I like the way that it makes my eyes look because
We have big eyes.
we have big eyes. Yeah, this kind of like gives an illusion that they're not gigantuous.
So I probably wouldn't fully recommend it for someone with smaller eyes, because it would probably make your eyes smaller.
Yeah, if you want your eyes to look bigger,
Use
use a white liner.
white, but don't go crazy.
Yes, but don't go crazy. It only goes in your water lines,
Yeah.
not on your eyes. If you're doing this, I tend to try to like do my under eye dry it first, and then I pull it down. Sorry guys, this is a little frightening. She's so chunky.
Did you see her in the
No, I didn't. Okay. So after you've done that, that's all the eyeliner. That's all the scariness. Now I have
That's also scary.
this contraption. This is an eyelash curler. It's quite frightening and I kind of hate it, but I also love it because it makes me, I have long eyelashes, but you can't see them until I've curled them. This thing is quite frightening.
So you don't have to use it.
You do not have to use this. I use it because
She didn't use it at first.
I did not use it at first.
And it looked fine.
And it looked fine, yeah. But you can like literally see the difference between my eyelashes curled and my eyelashes not curled. I'm also not the best at curling them.
Yep. It takes a little time.
Yeah.
But just be very careful.
If you do this, yes, be careful. And make sure that if you do this, it has the little gel thing on it. Because if not, it will literally cut your eyelashes off.
And also, don't do it after you put stuff on your eyelashes, like mascara.
Oh yeah, do it before.
Because that can rip them out also.
Yes, and make sure that if you use that your eyeliner is dry.
Yes, because it will take that off.
So now I have mascara, and this is Too Faced. It's brown, and I love the brown mascara for some reason. It looks so gorgeous on my eyes, in my opinion. Y'all might think it's ugly, but that's fine. I still love it, so I'm gonna do what I like.
You can use either or. Black.
Yeah, you can use black or brown because it just depends.
The way I am.
So I'm trying to do this on camera so you guys can see, but I feel like a lot of people mostly know how to put on mascara. Yeah, what I do is I put it on and I do my top and bottom lashes.
Yes.
Mia, she's rubbing all over my legs. Once I get it on there, like this, I go in with a second coat, but you don't want it to be clumpy. I use it more so to separate my lashes than like,
Yep.
and like do a quick little touch up. Like just touching it up instead of like trying to add a bunch more. So, I mean, same thing. Just feathering it on there. Now, if you want to bring lashes and lash glue and all that, you absolutely can. I don't think I'm going to unless somebody tells me I have to, because they're a pain to get on. They're a pain to make stay on. And if we can get away with just not, then that would be so much easier on us and easier on our eyes and our skin, because our skin's already going to be crying from wearing so much makeup. Next, if I can find it, my eyebrow pencil. I don't care how dark your eyebrows are, you need a little bit of pencil or gel or something on theirs. Even Bethany with really nice eyebrows, you have really nice eyebrows, fills them in a little bit, touches them up a little bit. I have trichotillomania that made me rip them out for a while, and they're trying to grow back in, but they're also just really light. So I use the pencil to shape them out. And I don't know if I can do this on camera, but we'll try. I very lightly feather it. You don't want to draw like a line. And you want to kind of follow the natural shape of your eyebrow. You don't want to try to make it look fake. Just follow the natural shape of your eyebrow, and everything will work out just fine.
And for me, I mainly just work with how thick mine are. I just work by doing a feathered line on the bottom of like the very front of my eyebrow, because that's where I have a few little holes and stuff in it. And then I just, you know, brush and feather it in as best as possible. But I don't know how to do all that stuff she be doing.
I've been doing this for so long that it's like super, super easy for me. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I quite literally will fill in my eyebrows every day, even if I go out with no makeup. So that's how I do. As you can kind of tell what I didn't really fill in up here. I filled in here, and then I put a line here and blended it upwards.
Yes, that's what I was trying to explain.
Just so that there's a little bit of color, but not like
a block.
A block, yeah. Oh, I didn't even say what this is. This is the NYX Professional Makeup Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Ash Brown for reference. But that's kind of how they look. They're not very even because of how they are, but that's okay. We just deal. Oh, she's climbing the chair. Great. Now I have a bunch of claw marks in my nice office chair. Super helpful. They can see her in that. Okay. Then
she's literally just like
I go in again with this spray we talked about earlier. Again, I use a lot. Hold your breath or else you'll sneeze to death. Where's my glasses? Thanks. Okay, so that's kind of what you're working with for your face. For your lips, we've talked about so many lipsticks, and that's pretty much all you need. And then you have
makeup.
Yeah. So yeah.
The Maleah and Bethany special.
Okay, well, like I said, you don't have to follow exactly. Just use this as some of a guide if you need help with certain things. Just keep in mind that it doesn't have to be exactly the same as mine. I know we're all different. We just need to try to look as uniform as we can. But I hope that this helps some people, and it at least gives you a little bit of an aid into doing your makeup so that you're not lost if you do need some help. And definitely I'm available if you have any questions about anything, any products or techniques or anything, especially things you saw in the video. If you need help, just shoot me a text or a call, whatever. If you guys need anything, just let me know. I hope this helps. See you guys soon.
Sorry, I could not.